Hey, how's it going guys, Untilis here. In the following video I want to show you how I managed to defeat this Barb Hut Royal Recruits deck. The reason why I want to show you this deck is because this deck is extremely popular right now, and it's also a very tough matchup for an Exe Nado player. I think it's a winnable matchup, but it's tough because they have dual lane pressure, and like I've said already, this is this deck's biggest problem. I cannot face dual lane pressure. So yeah, let's get it started. Like always at the start of every game, I want to start it out by cycling the Ice Spirit. And like always, I want to wait a bit. Maybe they are actually gonna start first. They don't, so I go in. Ice Spirit log. And now they go with the archer, and I go with the Hug. The reason why I don't want to go with the goblins, for example, is because the goblins are gonna die to the archers, and even if I split them, it's not gonna provide me any value. So I want to go with this, and I'm probably gonna ignore the archer on the other side. He goes aggressively, and right here I actually make a mistake. I pre-planted the goblins. I wasn't expecting him to go all in, so now I don't really have that much elixir to stop this battle ram. If I would have waited a bit more, I could have easily countered with the X-bow, with the executioner, but I was just not I wasn't expecting this. So I go in, I try to use the Ice Spirit to block it, and I actually managed to block it, but this archer is not dead yet, and with the barbarian tanking, this can mean a lot of damage, so I want to stop it, even if this means going to an elixir deficit. He goes with the dark goblin. I'm using the log, and right now I know what he's playing. I wasn't sure if he runs 3 musketeers with it as well. If he also runs 3 musketeers, then that's then I'm in trouble. So right now he's gonna go with a Barb Hut, I think. Okay, he's actually waiting. He's waiting because he wants to get to a double elixir. He doesn't want to plan the Barb Hut. He thought that we are equal in elixir, so he was just waiting for my move. That was a small mistake, in my opinion, on his part, because he should have known that I'm down in elixir. So I sent the Hawk. He blocked with the Barbarian Hut, and this is the play that I do against Barbarian Hut. I always go with the Executioner because it's an expensive enough card, and there is no point for me to save the Executioner because they are not gonna run anything like a P.E.K.K.A. or Golem or anything like that. So I'm just gonna use it for value, for the simple fact that Executioner is a splash unit. So I'm gonna use it against this. I'm gonna plant it right here on this tile, so he's gonna travel a long way. So as you can see, for the first like 2 waves, they barely even hit the Executioner. And now this next one is gonna come, and actually my Executioner is gonna snipe the Barbarian Hut. So yeah, I did my test with those plants, and this, in my opinion, is the best plant. And now he goes with this big push. So this is troublesome, right? I don't have my Executioner. Goblins are not gonna be enough to stop all this. The log is not gonna be enough to stop all this. So yeah, I'm a bit in trouble. So I'm gonna go and pretty much just split, like my knight on the one side, goblins on the other side. Gonna use the log as well right here to stop this this battle ram from connecting. I went with the Executioner as well. I think this was this might have been a mistake on my part. If we go back a bit, it's very tough with those. No, actually no, it was not a mistake. I just couldn't do anything different. I could have maybe like used the tornado, but I didn't have the Ice Spirit in cycle. So I had to use something. I knew that this battle ram is gonna connect. I was not that sure about this. So I'm gonna use the Ice Spirit, go back to my knight. So I managed to defend this, right? It's not like you cannot defend, you can defend. But eventually you get to double elixir, and he always has this Barb Hut against your Hog, and if you try to rocket their tower, they are just gonna demolish you with all those troops. Like they're gonna plant Royal Recruits in the back, and their shields are great against the rocket. They're gonna plant the Barb Hut somewhere around here, so you cannot really use the rocket, and eventually they're gonna break in with that dual lane pressure. Goblin gank on one side, Dark Goblin on the other side, is very difficult with the fireball as well, so they can actually go aggressive against my executioner. It's gonna be tough. So right now, what he's doing, he's actually allowing this executioner to hit the tower because I already dealt some damage on this side. So this was a very good play. The problem with this play is the fact that he actually misplaced the Barb Hut. If you place it right here, I can actually go with the Hog Rider on this side. He should have placed it a bit higher, like right here, so I cannot go. So right now I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna pre-lock that Dark Goblin, hoping that I'm gonna hit some goblins, and actually do. So this actually gets his tower down to 2k HP. Once again, I'm using my executioner to go against this Barbarian Hut, and now I'm gonna use my Knight and my Spirit to stop this push. He supports it, which is great because I don't really have that many answers. I'm gonna log right here, and I logged in such a way to also chip the tower. But this Barbarian actually survived and dealt some damage, but that's cool. The reason why I'm saying this is cool is because I don't really care if he's gonna do some damage. Once again, I'm always gonna win. If we are both doing damage to our towers, I'm always gonna win because I have the rocket. So I would much rather just not get into an elixir deficit. So right here, this Barbarian Hut once again is not well placed, so I'm gonna go with a Hog, force another Barbarian Hut. Gonna use the execution on this side. And now he's going in. So this was the time when I knew I need kind of like 3 rockets or just 2 rockets and a lot of logs. I don't know exactly how many logs I need. I think like 4 logs or so. So I see this, and this means that I can actually use the rocket to take down all those 4 shields. Now this is not the best rocket ever, right? But he's never gonna give me value to use my rocket. So I'm thinking if I just play it safe and right now just cycle goblins behind the king tower, they're just gonna suicide into the royal recruits. If I just use like Ice Spirit, log, it's not gonna be enough. I'm not gonna be able to do this forever. Eventually he's gonna go back to another Barb Hut and he's just gonna overwhelm me. So I'm taking my shots here, going aggressive with the rocket. I got super lucky right here. The executioner actually sniping that Dark Goblin, because otherwise I think I would be in trouble because I had to use the log against the Dark Goblin and then he can just pressure the other side. So I got a bit lucky. So right now I'm just waiting. I'm using the log right here to also clip the tower because I knew I had to do some logs. And I'm waiting until last second to use this very beautiful executioner tornado push. He gave me so much value. He felt like I'm about to kill his tower with my rockets, so he felt the need to just go all out, which in my opinion was a mistake. He should have pressured me to use the execution tornado, but he gave me way too much value. He could have had like 7 elixir right now and maybe cycle back to a Dark Goblin, something along those lines. He went with a Dark Goblin as well. The Dark Goblin is gonna die. I'm right here, I'm blocking this, and I know I cannot I can actually go with a rocket if he goes with a Barb Hut, because the Barb Hut, it gives him a lot of value if the Barb Hut actually has time to create all those barbarians. But if I rocket now and he goes the Barb Hut, he pretty much spends 7 elixir for only 2 barbarians, and then I can just easily cycle to another rocket. So he goes for it. He takes the bait, so I'm just gonna rocket him, and only 4 more cards and I win this game. Now I want to point out, if he wouldn't do this mistake and he would just keep on pressuring, without the Barb Hut I think I can actually sustain his push. Just execution on one side should be able to like not get rid of all the push, especially if I don't combine him with a tornado, but it should be enough to stop him from just taking my tower completely. And Knight, Log, Ice Spirit on the other side should be enough to just stop him for a while. Sure, he's gonna do some damage with that Battle Ram, Dark Goblin. Eventually he's gonna connect, but I'm just waiting for him to overspend once, and then I'm just rocketing. And if he doesn't, if he plays it perfectly, then I'm just gonna log him a couple of times because I actually have enough time. So right now he feels like, okay, I need to do something, and he tries, but I'm just playing defense, just spreading my units just to stop his push. And I'm going with the rocket. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.